Doug Polk kicks things off with 7-5 suited. His stack is huge compared to most people on the table, so he can freely fish for a straight or a flush here.
6 raises to 7.
Whoa!
Jungleman, though, is not looking to play around with small raises. He has pocket queens and is determined to make anyone that is looking to play pay the high price of $7,000. Now that everyone but Doug Polk has folded and it is his turn to act, what do you think his next move will be?
How much we got here, Jungle?
After sizing up Jungleman's stack for a while, Doug Polk decides that his potential straight flush with the 7-5 is worthy enough and fires a call that will send us straight to a crazy flop.
Ooh, fun board.
If it's a split pot,
Double gut shot for Doug.
You move your hand's in the way.
The rainbow flop discourages Doug Polk a bit. He opens with a check, which sends Jungleman into bet mode, and he shoots a $5,000 bet. To which, after some pretend sizing up, Doug decides to call once again. Despite the turn improving his straight flush draw, Doug Polk decides to wait it out and checks. To which, as if by a clockwork, Jungleman and his pair of queens go on the offensive. He fires almost a pot bet worth $21,500. Now everything is on Doug Polk and his belief in at least hitting the straight. I might sound a bit like a fish, but I am definitely folding it right here. What about you?
Do it, Doug.
Do it.
I think he will. This is my guess. Fold equity available. Double gutter plus flush draw. 7 high out of position.
All in.
Boom.
Yeah.
much?
It's your stack.
All of it.
Pretty much a snap call here.
How much? It's your stack.
You want to do more?
More than twice?
One time, man. The viewers at home want to see it one time.
You guys just have to agree to it.
It's probably going to be a
Twice
split.
is good. Okay.
2 times. $185,000 in the middle.
All right, did it twice.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
shit.
Dougie.
That is
That
a
is a straight
flush.
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 It's good to win the first one.
Daniel Negreanu looks down to King 10 offsuit, a hand with decent equity in a 4-way pot. Against him is Elizabeth Houston, who opens to a Queen Jack offsuit. Let's see who will the poker gods bless this time.
See that? Cheap flop.
Reynolds folds.
Also makes it easier to call this 3-bet from Tony G.
He raises to 2,000. Queen Jack for the cannon. She calls out of position. So does Daniel.
And like that, Williams built himself his own little pot odds.
He calls too. 4-person party to the flop.
The flop comes 8 Queen Jack Rainbow, which is perfect for Houston. She is looking at top 2 pair with no danger of a flush and only a potential straight or a pocket pair being in her way. Her odds look great, but I think she should have bet harder before Negreanu had a chance to see more of the community cards.
I fold. Thank you, William.
With the bet sizing being insufficient, even Tony G with his mid pair of jacks that have 2% equity will make the call. The turn delivers the 4 of spades. Things couldn't have been better for Houston. Pocket 4s would have probably folded, same as the pocket 6s from earlier, but she is still afraid of the flush and straight draw. That's why she fires a bet for a bit over half the pot, which I think will be yet again not enough to get Negreanu off his hand.
Daniel's checking out her stack, knowing she probably has something strong enough to lose it all if he does make the nuts.
Negreanu casually calls her $15,000 bet as predicted. But at least Tony G and his adventuristic jacks are gone. Now let's see what the turn will bring for Negreanu. And it is the ace. What a cooler this will be at the end.
That's Daniel's gin card, and this could get ugly for the cannon. I expect her to bet here.
Now she checks.
Somehow she knew to slow down. Daniel's got the nuts. Let's see how much he thinks she'll pay off.
50.
If Elizabeth has watched this show at all, she would know Daniel doesn't bluff raise the river very often. No one does.
If Elizabeth makes this call, she'll have less than 30,000 remaining in her stack.
Call.
Ouch.
She sees it.
Damn it.
Doug Polk kicks things off with Jack 9 suited, a hand that can pop off real hard if the flop comes just right. Doug has already 3-bet his opponent raised, trying to portray strength. As he is calling, I am inclined to tell you that Owen, the guy with the pocket 10s, is an amateur, and I think this is his first professional table. Imagine playing versus one of the biggest names in the game on your first table.
Doug hits 2 pair on this flop.
Owen's got some escape hatches, though, in the form of an 8 for a straight or, of course, a 10.
After the flop delivers a 2-pair for Doug Polk, I am starting to worry about our friend Owen here. He is indeed holding a good pair and has an open-ended straight flush draw, but Doug is currently holding the nuts and is looking to apply pressure with another $4,000 bet. Our amateur has a big decision to make, so he naturally takes his time, but ends up calling. I bet he is feeling the straight on the river.
How much do you have behind here? It's like 23, 43, 50? 50?
Oh my goodness.
Nice turn card for Owen. Not only does he have the straight, he's got straight flush redraw.
With the straight on the turn, Owen now takes 35 seconds to decide that he wants to bet more than half the pot for $10,000. But don't worry, I have sped it up for you.
Owen goes for a 2/3 pot bet. Sets up a nice sized river shove should he get called.
After the amateur bet, Doug's call was almost like a snap call compared to how long they're taking to decide this game.
Doug's not going to go anywhere. 2-pair just yet. And there's the straight flush.
Wow. All in.
Owen does go all in.
Absolutely brutal. Wow. Wow.
But if Owen taking so long to decide wasn't enough, Doug Polk contemplated the laws of the universe for a minute and a half before making his decision. But once again, I have sped up to his decision. Let's check it out.
Queen X of diamonds. I have so many hearts, though.
Doug is just trying to think of hands that he beats.
I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit.
Yeah, maybe Owen has king, queen of diamonds exactly.
Trickett kicks things off with 6-5 of spades. This is an extremely speculative hand that aggressive players like Trickett love. Trickett has already raised $200,000, and our villain is considering his options.
That's 335.
With almost $200,000 already in the pot, paying $50,000 should be nothing. And our Bulgarian villain thinks the same as he calls with his Jack 7 of spades. The flop comes 2-9-3 with 2 spades. Now Trickett is hoping for the 4 of spades, and the Bulgarian is begging the dealer for almost any spade but the 4. After the villain shows weakness with his check, Trickett looks like he will take matters into his own hands. And he does exactly that. He fires a bet for $80,000, which is about 1/3 of the pot. Now the ball is in the court of the Bulgarian. I think his best option is to just call and play along for another card and hope it's a good spade. After some thoughtful consideration, he does the reasonable thing and calls to see the turn. Let's see how will that play out for him.
So we see the turn card and it's the 4 of spades. Wow, what a card. That has made Sam Trickett a straight flush. He is absolutely unbeatable in this hand. And Igor Kurganov has got a jack-high flush, so he'll think that he's unbeatable.
This is what we call a cooler, Jono. All the chips are going into the middle. Sam has the absolute nuts. He's got the best hand possible.
The turn delivering the 4 of spade is the best thing that could have happened to Trickett, and the worst for the Bulgarian villain. Now he will think that he has a good flush when in fact he is drawing completely dead. With Trickett betting $180,000, the price of 1/3 of the pot is not too bad for a call here. What would you do in that position? Would you fold, or would you go all in? Let me know in the comments. Knowing some wild gamblers from the Balkans, I feel like the Bulgarian is about to jam all in.
All in, call.
Bendinelli kicks things off with pocket 8s. This is a hand that can be extremely powerful, especially in a heads-up match. With $7 million already in the pot, Bendinelli can extract a lot more value.
Oh boy, we got a set of 8s for Bendinelli.
Oh no.
Top pair for Guerrero.
With Guerrero's weak check, Bendinelli can now completely take over the pot. The only question is how big of a bet he makes. So Guerrero stays and makes the pot bigger. Bendinelli is not looking to let Guerrero see a cheap flop and fires a $2.5 million bet. That is almost 1/3 of the pot. But with the top pair on the flop, Guerrero is not looking as if he will back down. He doesn't disappoint and calls Bendinelli's bet. This pot is getting enormous.
Turn is a
Oh,
jack.
wow.
Oh, no.
What a setup.
Oh, such a cold deck.
Cold deck city. Guerrero covered.
With an insane amount of luck, Guerrero pulls a 3rd jack that completes his jack trips. This completely turns the game on its head, but only in Guerrero's head. Bendinelli is now sitting comfortable on a full house and is looking to extract even more value. Bendinelli is completely aware of how strong of a position he now finds himself in. That's why he fires a $5.5 million bet that is there to prevent weaker hands from playing for the river and maybe dissuade stronger opponents with weak mental game. But fortunately for Bendinelli this time around, Guerrero is anything but a poker player with weak mental game. He is completely unaware of the kind of trap he is walking in and confidently calls the enormous bet from Bendinelli.
River.
Oh
The
my
board pairs, but it's the
God.
8.
No.
It's quad 8 for Bendinelli.
Wow.
This is unbelievable. This is the coldest of decks. It doesn't get any colder than this, Maria.
I'm glad you got a sweatshirt for this hand, Nick.
Insane.
The turn delivers another 8, which completes the quads for Bendinelli, which I can't believe I am saying again in this video, but is even luckier than Guerrero's jack. Now Guerrero is first on the move. He has a big choice ahead of himself, and I am starting to believe, based on his previous ones, that he will make the wrong one. And the wrong one he does. He fires a slightly smaller bet of $3.8 million, which looks completely abysmal from where we are sitting. I can't think of a reason he would commit so hard to such a weak hand other than a bad earlier read. Bendinelli with his quads doesn't really have anything to think about, other than baiting Guerrero and paying even more on this disaster of a hand. What do you think? Will he bet half the pot, or will he go crazy and shove all in? Let me know in the comments.
Put this to bed. Announces all in. Guerrero hasn't snap called. There's just no way. There's the call from Guerrero. It's over.